I'm Paul Stanley of KISS. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night, no!
You're listening to your source for pro wrestling talk.
For those that are unaware, my name is Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, I actually used to wrestle for Ring of Honor before I signed with WWE.
You know, that name that you just named, I've never had a one-on-one match here in Impact Wrestling Games for Swan.
This is Third League.
World Women's Champion for NWA. I'm the first ever Mexican-born wrestler to hold this title.
This is the first time someone's introduced me as the Monster Hunter outside of a wrestling show.
His psychology was completely different, and it was more lucha style and Japanese style, so I got two completely different kinds of training.
This is Wrestling Radio.
Welcome in. It's another edition of Third League Radio. We are in with you this week. We have got a lot to talk about. First up, a little bit of a surprise for me. Sheamus, gone from WWE. Apparently he is one of the TKO victims.
He hasn't been treated well either.
You know, TKO coming in trying to restructure contracts. Rumors are that Sami Zayn was one of the people who got restructured, took a big pay cut. Sheamus was not willing to do that.
This isn't all on TKO, because if he was anywhere near in the main scene, where that's Triple H. I mean, if he was where he should be, he would not be getting asked to take a pay cut. It seems like all the veterans have been taking... they're not even old veterans, but like the New Day or Sheamus, they're putting them on the back burner and then saying, we're going to cut you. Yeah. They're not worth that. And if you're going to pay them less, at least give them something to say, hey, you're going to be doing something.
Well, yeah, I don't see...
Triple H has single-handedly shafted both of those people because he doesn't use them.
Yeah, well, I don't understand what value in ring Sheamus would have for like an AEW for a while. There's been a lot of people talking about they would like to see him reunite with Claudio, become a new member of the Death Rider. I don't know what in-ring value he may offer, but he is very valuable backstage in a lot of other different places. If AEW can use him right, use him in-ring sparingly, use him backstage like they do. Like, okay, Big Show was recently in ring for a dark match, but he's used in a more of a backstage role.
Well, Sheamus is one of those few wrestlers who has a 5-star match where 90% of the match was chopping. I mean, he's a great wrestler. He doesn't need to do much.
No, well, I'm not talking about, like, okay, you have already got an overcrowded roster. You've got storylines that are running every which way. With him coming in with you don't know how much longer he has left in the ring.
What you should do is send him to Japan.
What can you do with him in the ring? He would be more value to you behind the scenes, is what I'm saying.
Send him to Japan. Put him with United Empire.
Sheamus has already changed his in social medias and all that, put his real name on there, taking Sheamus off of it. But switching over from someone leaving WWE to someone maybe going back to WWE, Bishop Dyer. Baron Corbin. He was the Major League Wrestling, one half of the Major League Wrestling Tag Team Champions. MLW recently stripped him of that title. Meltzer says that basically negotiations between him and Major League Wrestling kind of hit a standstill, and he was trying to use his status like, hey, I'm one half of the Tag Team Champions to get kind of ultimate leverage, more money, more perks, things like that. You're dealing with Major League Wrestling. You don't really have a lot of money going around to play with, you know what I'm saying? But he was trying. He was, I don't know.
Hold on. Why does he think he deserves more money than the people who have been there for 10 years?
Well, I mean, to be honest, he has been working, and I thought he was trying to kind of make his name as an indie wrestler. I thought he was trying to build up his reputation with wrestlers, with wrestling companies, because he's been doing interviews that kind of go in that light. But this right here looks like he's just trying to be like, okay, I can get back into WWE.
But you only have so much money going around, so when you're asking for more money, you're just asking to be fired when you're not even that valuable to the company. People barely even like you that they do. They just remember your face, and they're like, oh, haha, hey, I remember you. I mean, you can't be like that, and you don't even have a guarantee of going back to WWE because they don't want you either.
Talking wrestling around the world, this is Third League.
Well, you know, I always get Maple Leaf Pro. When I'm talking about Maple Leaf Pro, I always, for some reason, say Major League Wrestling. I always say MLW instead of MLP. But Maple Leaf Pro, they've got some news. They are going to be on My AEW starting Thursday, July 16th with MLP Mayhem. This is big. We've seen lots of promotions join My AEW. A lot of the ones
is
from
there
Triller
a catalog?
TV. Yeah, we talked about it last week. I had to pull it up. I don't know if I can pull it up real quick, but we saw GCW in talks to maybe join My AEW as well.
Yeah, I remember that. I just meant for Maple Leaf. Is there a catalog that's going to be there?
No, this is going to be their first show. I know they've had shows, but this Maple Leaf Pro Mayhem show, this marks their debut. It's going to be on My AEW internationally. It's going to be on TSN in Canada. It's going to be Thursday nights.
Big for Maple Leaf Pro, because no one was going to pay $20 to watch your show when we're paying hundreds of dollars to watch everything else.
See, the series debut, it's going to have Stu Grayson on it.
I mean, this is why this is going to be good for America, because you're already paying a couple different services in Japan, and they're starting to kind of combine their services so that you don't have to pay for as many. So if you have them all in one place and you have one subscription, that's way better. Even if you have a cheaper subscription, but it's like a $10 show, that's better because it's all in one place.
Well,
and you're more inclined to purchase it.
The thing that's good about my AEW is you don't have to buy it. It's a free app. Now, you can buy pay-per-views. For instance, CMLL's having a pay-per-view coming up on the app. You can buy it straight through My AEW. I think it's...
If you had a subscription, though, you could get the AEW pay-per-views for free, or maybe the AEW is cheaper and then the other smaller ones for free.
Yeah, they could do something like that. But I really like this My AEW. I hope everything works well for it. I mean, we don't talk WWE much anymore, but I used to love the WWE Network when it first came out. It was well organized. You could watch stuff from way back in the day. You could have all this now.
Oh, they had their whole library except for stuff they didn't want to show you. They don't have that now.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really have independent promotions until a little bit later, and then by that point, they were trying to buy the promotions instead of just showing them.
And
I like the idea that they're going with it.
When it very first came out, and it was just... They just dumped everything in there because they were trying to compete with TNA still. It was those two companies neck and neck. TNA was still getting 1 million plus viewers. So they were still competing. TNA, they were the first company to ever come out with a streaming service, and it was a great streaming service. We had it. We used it. I used it all the time.
Yeah, My AEW, the future of independent wrestling, looking to be right there.
Your source for pro wrestling and your place for modern rock. This is Third League. Rock and Wrestling Radio.
Okay, so I haven't got to see this dark side of the ring yet, but I want to talk about this, not because it's not necessarily about the show, really, but the new Dark Side of the Ring has a 3-parter on TNA. Jeff Jarrett starting TNA wrestling with his father, Jarrett, and... Anyway, after the latest episode, there was a podcast. Jarrett's podcast, Jarrett's My World podcast. Connor Thompson, the co-host, Jeff Jarrett. Karen Jarrett was on the podcast, and she remains very vocal about her deep-seated hatred for former TNA president Dixie Carter. She says that basically Dixie Carter sold TNA down the river, sold her husband down the river for her own personal gain. Mm-hmm. Which I would agree with that, but she goes on to say, I didn't realize until 6 months ago how much rage and hate I still have for that woman. And she's going on to just tell a little bit more about it, but I really want to get into a Jeff Jarrett, Dixie Carter. I mean, we need to sit down and watch this 3-parter and have a whole episode.
I mean, that company was really good, and it was the true successor of WCW, and I mean, it was going to be big without Dixie Carter, and it would have stayed big without Dixie Carter.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Conrad Thompson asked...
2014, even, I would say after 2013, really, it gets iffy.
I mean, I hardly ever agree with Karen Jarrett, but Conrad Thompson asked her, he says, do you think Dixie Carter is a net positive or a net negative for wrestling? 1,000% a net negative is what Karen Jarrett said. But yes, for wrestling as a whole, it was worse for having Dixie Carter in it. For having Dixie Carter involved with professional wrestling suffered, especially TNA. I knew when Hulk Hogan came in and started copying everything that Triple H was doing to the point where he was like, I'm moving the show to Monday night and I'm taking away the six-sided ring. I was like, ooh, that's a bad move right there. That's what set TNA apart. Now, on the wrestler side of
remember
things...
he was calling himself Double H?
Oh, yeah. Instead of Triple H, he was Double H, yeah. But it was like, I get it for the wrestlers. The six-sided ring is probably... the four-sided ring is better than the six-sided ring, I guess. A little bit makes taking bumps easier and all that, but that's what set them aside.
The problem was they didn't construct the ring properly, and if they had consulted with Mexico, they would have figured out how to do it.
But yeah, that I would have to. I mean, definitely, I want to get into the whole Dark Side of the Ring series on TNA. We want to do probably an episode after that, after I watch it. But anytime you get a chance to dunk on Dixie Carter, I say you take it.
Third League Radio.
Well, time to get into the wrestling, and we are starting in San Diego, California, airing on July 1st. It was AEW Dynamite. It would get a 7.7 rating on Cage Match. It would start off with a world title match where MJF would retain against Mark Briscoe. 4.5 Wrestling Observer rated stars on this one. A little under 20 minutes. I don't know if this is the match Mark Briscoe got injured in, but Briscoe definitely injured after this, and MJF retains.
We don't know what Briscoe got injured with. I think it's something with the head, but we'll have to see on that. What was the story here? Kenny came out after, or
Kenny got the shot at the match. He comes out and says, hey, I'm going to take this.
Kenny beat Sabre, and he was like, Max, I deserve a shot. And he said, if you want a shot, you have to do the same stipulation that Hangman had.
Yeah, which is where you can never challenge for the title again. And we'll talk about that coming up as, it gets to next week. We'll talk about that story playing out. But the AEW TNT title match was on the line next as Kevin Knight would defeat Leo Rush just shy of 10 minutes in this one. And this match, unrated by Dave Meltzer. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna choose not to mess with the Leo Rush on this one.
I don't think he likes the gimmicks like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd
getting
thing.
Over, though.
Yeah, it's definitely it's taken people a little bit to kind of get to it, but it is starting to get over now. People are starting to kind of understand a little bit more what he's going after. The next match, 3 3/4 stars, a tag match, as the Death Riders, I guess Will Ospreay officially a member, as Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay would defeat...
He's the water boy.
The Swirl of Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. 9 minutes, 16 seconds in this one.
They should call him Black and White Cookie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like the Swirl. You know what? Call it Vanilla Bean. Go ahead, just do it. The main event of this match was an AEW TBS Survival of the Fittest elimination match to determine the new TBS champion.
You could call him White Chocolate.
I'm talking about the TBS Championship, and you're over here still thinking of names for Vanilla Bean. So, in this match, Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, Micah, Persephone, Queen Aminata, and Hikaru Shida would be in the Survival of the Fittest match. This match, it would go 17 minutes, 29 seconds, with Hikaru Shida eventually eliminating Chris Statlander to become the new TBS champion.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I don't like the choice, though. I mean, I think she needed more time to reestablish herself first. Honestly,
I want a foreigner to get the title. I want Persephone, someone from CMLL, maybe Starlight Kid. Bring her from their Stardom. Give someone else the title. I mean, we've seen New Japan put titles on American talent. We've seen CMLL put titles on American talent. We've only put a Ring of Honor title on somebody. I would like to see it kind of go both ways a little bit on that one right there. But that is a look at Collision. Or Dynamite, excuse me. That's a look at Dynamite.
Third League Radio.
Well, we do have to go over to Collision again. It is still from San Diego, California. And this would start off with a 3 1/4 or 3.5 star rated match from Wrestling Observer, a tag match, as the Death Riders, this version, Claudio and Pac, would defeat Unbound Company, Drilla Maloney, and Shingo Takagi, 18 minutes, 5 seconds. Of course, this was leading into that Forbidden Door. We kind of skipped over this last week as we just kind of donned it over Forbidden Door. This is after Forbidden Door, excuse me. Andrade El Idolo is in a singles match against Brian Cage. 4 1/4 rated stars in this one. I think Brian Cage is underused a lot by Tony Khan, but something
having a singles match on TV, I mean, that's more than what a lot of people are getting against Andrade too. That's
yeah,
awesome.
But Brian Cage is very good, and he is not used properly.
He's had
the thing that I don't understand
before, but now is not the time.
The thing I don't understand is how is Andrade getting over? It doesn't even make sense in context of what he's asking. Someone's talking about something completely just not even a question, and he goes...
It's like George Lopez. Why did the stuff he say got over? Because he said it in a Latino accent.
Mina Shirakawa and Thunder Rosa would get over in a squash match against Becca and Zara Zakir. I guess that's how you say that. I'm not sure. A little over 2 minutes in that one. But an 8-man tag team match is Adam Copeland and the Bang Bang Gang, Austin, Colton Gunn, Jay White. They would defeat Shane Taylor Promotions, Carly Bravo, Lee Moriarty, Shane Taylor, and Sean Dean. 10 minutes, 41 seconds in this one. The Demand was in action next as Bishop Khan, Ricochet, Toa Leona. They would squash somebody. I've never heard of these guys. Chris Nasty, Jordan Oasis, and Sonico.
They sound Australian. The guys in Australia have weird names.
Women's Casino Gauntlet, the number 1 spot. This is a match to determine the number 1 spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet. Athena would defeat Rena. 12 minutes, 48 seconds in this one. Let's see. 6-man tag match, a 4-star rated match. Bandito, Mike Bailey, and Mystico would defeat the Rascals. Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz. I haven't seen a lot of the Rascals lately.
Wasn't one of them hurt?
I don't know.
When someone's hurt, Tony doesn't like to use the whole people. It's like, you guys are in a group, one of you's hurt, so you guys are going to have to help him get better. You guys aren't going to be here.
See, Roosh would defeat Jordan Cruz in a squash match, a little over a minute. And a match to determine the number 2 spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet. Maya World would defeat Julia Hart. And again, I think Julia Hart is another underused, underlooked wrestler.
That one, Julia Hart needed the win there.
In the main event, it was 4 1/4 star rated match, and it was probably the best El Phantasmo match I've ever seen. Kyle Fletcher would get the win, though. 11 minutes, 11 seconds.
You're
Kyle
wrong.
Fletcher wins in the main event.
He's had a better match. I forgot what it was. I think it might have been Takeshita. It's in Japan. He wrestled Takeshita. He wrestled Sabre Jr. He wrestled for the world title and did a really good job, I think, against... maybe Yota Tsuji, so he's really good.
Well, then I didn't see it, but that's the best match of his that I've personally ever seen.
It was only 11 minutes. He's wrestled 45 minutes.
But that is AEW Collision.
This Week in History.
All right, now it's time for This Week in History. And the week we're looking at, June 28th through July 5th. And we're kind of going to talk about shows for a little bit of this because... July 3rd, 1991 was day 1 of the WCW Great American Bash Tour. It was in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and featured the announcement that Ric Flair had been stripped of the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, due to quote-unquote contractual stipulations. On the show itself, Steve Austin would retain the World Television title. Elegante, Lex Luger, Sting, and Yellow Dog, which is Brian Pillman, when he was, quote, basically it was a match for his career. He couldn't be in WCW anymore. He comes back in a mask. It's yellow. Calls himself Yellow Dog. Easily see-through. Everyone knows it's Brian Pillman.
Again?
Elegante, Giant Gonzalez.
That's why, the big guy.
They would defeat Barry Windham, Kevin Sullivan, Nikita Koloff, and One Man Gang in a War Games match. That would happen July 3rd, 1991. July 2nd, 2001, the main event of Monday Night Raw at the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, featured the first ever WCW match on WWF TV. That was after WCW had been bought by Shane McMahon. Well, the match was Booker T. He defended the WCW Championship against Buff Bagwell. And this match is remembered for all the wrong reasons. The crowd was chanting, boring, this match sucks. It was called, it actually got an award that year for the most awkward match in WWE history.
If it was in WCW, it probably would have been at least 3.75 stars. Crowd would have been going crazy.
This was Buff Bagwell's only time in WWE. His only match was right there.
Yeah.
Sorry for Buff Bagwell, but he was the problem in that match. Booker T was doing everything he could. The match was a stinker because of Buff Bagwell. He had a chance, and he just did not show up.
That's classic WCW style. They were told to wrestle WCW style. That's what they did.
And the big thing, July 4th, 1993. Helicopter lands on the USS Intrepid battleship in New York City. 627-pound man Yokozuna had dared people all summer to try to body slam him. No one could. Tatanka, Crush, Randy Savage. Hey, even there were people like sports stars trying to body slam him, and no one could. The helicopter lands. The doors open. Who comes out? The Lex Express. Lex Luger. He body slams Yokozuna in the name of America. It's still one of the most... It's the biggest flop I've ever... I don't know if you've ever looked into this, but after that, they tried this whole thing. It was this big, yay, America moment, and they tried this whole thing, this Lex Express. He gets on a bus and drives all across the country to each show. He stops at a mall. No one showed up. Everyone hated it. It was laughed at. It was panned. Lex Luger never really got to the level he was supposed to be at, and I think that was one of the things that kind of set it off. He was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan.
In the 90s, no one else was doing anything. Why didn't they go to the mall to see him and get a little signy sign? I mean, God.
I mean, hey.
You didn't have anything but time. Malls were everywhere. Things were cheap. You had skateboards.
They did not. Or maybe they misjudged what Lex was capable of. You know what I mean? Because they thought he was going to be the next Hulk Hogan, but Lex Express would be the next Hulkamania, and it just fell flat. But that is This Week in History.
Match of the Week.
Well, Match of the Week time, and, first up, got to look at the honorable mention. And, man, I don't know. It's kind of tough. I like Brian Cage, Andrade El Idolo. That one's really good. You can also go talk about the TBS Survival of the Fittest match. That one is good as well. But for my honorable mention, it's got to be from Dynamite. The AEW World Title match. MJF would defeat Mark Briscoe. That would be rated 4.5 star match by Wrestling Observer. That'd probably be my honorable mention. Right up there with Match of the Week. I had a hard time deciding, actually.
Kevin Knight and Leo Rush.
Okay, odd choice, but yeah, I'll give you that. Now, MJF Mark Briscoe could have been my Match of the Week. It very well could have. But the only reason it's not is because I really enjoyed Kyle Fletcher and El Phantasmo, the main event of Collision. That was a 4.25 rated star match, but I just really enjoyed that match, so that's got to be my Match of the Week.
I do MJF and Briscoe.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Take that right there. That is a look at Match of the Week.
And after it's all over, you say, oh, what a lovely tea party.
Third League. Wrestling Radio.
Well, upcoming shows, a little bit close to us on this one. Coming up on July 18th down in Dallas, Texas at Gillies. GCW, The Life of a Boss, going to be live on pay-per-view on Triller TV as for right now. But a singles match will see Joey Janela take on Brick Savage, while Savage Gnomes, Bear Bronson and Gabby Forza take on Cowboy Way, One Called Manders and Thomas Shire. Now this match looks interesting. Busta and the Brain, Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, taking on KJ Orso and Sam Stackhouse for Price and Oliver's tag team titles. I think Orso and Stackhouse might take this one. I'm not just saying that because KJ was the first ever guest on the show, but yeah, I think they might take this one. The GCW Ultra Violent title is on the line as Oticus Koger is taking on Nino Extremo, or should I say Koger defending against Nino Extremo. And the world title is also on the line as Emerson Jane challenges Atticus Koger for the GCW world title. That's GCW Life of a Boss coming up from Gillies in Dallas, and that is going to do it for us. We'll see you next time here on Third League Radio.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Third League Radio. Download the latest episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Catch the live radio show every weekend starting at 10 p.m. You can listen live every Friday night at mix961.net. This has been Third League Radio.